Hi, welcome to BCI Ask the Experts. I'm Brad White, joined today by Dr. Brian Libers
Good morning, Brad.
and Dr. Philip Lancaster.
Hi, Brad.
We're happy to have you with us. On this show, our experts will answer your questions, and we're happy if you send us questions to put those on the list for future episodes. You can email us at bci@ksu.edu. And today's listener question comes to us in a very timely manner of thinking about bulls. And the question was, what should I do to get my bulls ready for the breeding season? Philip, I'm going to turn to you first.
Well, I think that one of the first things is make sure that they have good nutrition leading up to the breeding season. Though that bull needs to be probably in body condition score 6 or so going into the breeding season, because he's going to lose weight during the breeding season, or he should lose weight during the breeding season, because he should be focused on breeding cows more than he is on eating. So he's probably going to lose a couple 100 pounds during the breeding season. And so I want to make sure that he's in a little bit above average body condition score, so he's got the reserves to lose without losing a whole lot of muscle mass.
Absolutely. So good body condition. Philip starts out with a 6. Brian, what do you say?
I'm going to say the first thing I want to do as we get ready for breeding season is I want a complete and thorough breeding soundness exam, which actually includes body condition score as well. But I want to make sure that he's got good feed underneath him. I want to make sure that he doesn't have any eye problems, so he can see the cows. So he's got to walk to the cows, he's got to see the cows, and then a complete semen evaluation to make sure that his motility is good, make sure his sperm morphology is good, because when he gets there, he has to actually be able to breed the cows. So I'm going to say a complete and thorough breeding soundness exam.
Absolutely. So including everything Philip talked about and adding to it that he has to be able to pass that. So Philip, I'm going to ask you, and Brian starts out with 8, but I'm going to ask you, Philip, when do I do this assessment of body score relative to breeding season? And I'll give you a specific date. So my breeding season is going to start May 15. When should I start assessing the body score on the bull?
A month ago.
Okay.
Just because I want a good 2-3 months to get him in condition. If he's not in the appropriate condition currently, then I need some time to put weight on him. He's not going to. I don't want to feed him like a grower diet or a feedlot diet to try to put weight on him in a short period of time. I want to do it slowly over time with an energy supplement to his normal hay feeding, and so I want to assess that 2-3 months ahead of time.
Okay, so what rate do you want him to gain?
Well, it depends on how much he needs to gain. But let's say he's at a 5 and I need him to go up to a 6. That's about 100 pounds. So on 90 days, that means I need to get him to gain about a pound a day.
Okay. So you don't want it, just like you said, you don't want him growing too fast, but you do want him to gain weight as he's going in and be in a positive energy balance for the breeding season. So Brian, I'm gonna ask you the same question except about the BSE. How close to the start of breeding season do I want to do that BSE?
Well, fortunately, my answer is about the same as Philip. So 60 to 90 days, I think, is a good window because, and essentially for the same reason, just the health aspects, if there are problems, then I have time to potentially correct those before the breeding season comes around. So that could be, if he's got a case of foot rot, he would not pass a breeding soundness exam. I've got time to treat him, get him better, and then make him to where he could pass it. If he has issues with his semen motility, morphology, we would want to do a recheck in another 30 days to see if it's changed. And if it's improved, then great. He passes his breeding soundness exam. He's good to go. If it's not improved, then we need to make decisions. And we still have time. If the decision is I need another bull, I still have time potentially to go find me another bull, so I'm ready for that breeding season once it hits. So I think that 2 to 3 month window is perfect time.
Absolutely. So Philip has gained a couple points. He's up to 8. Brian, you stayed at 8 because you copied off your neighbor with the time frame. But this is your last question, and really just a kind of a yes or no. I've got multiple bulls going into the same pasture. Would I introduce them prior to going in the breeding pasture, or would you introduce them in the breeding pasture?
You introduce them to each other?
To each other, yes. Sorry.
I think I'd do it before they go into the pasture with the cows, because they're going to have to establish a pecking order, and I don't want them doing that while they're supposed to be breeding cows. I want them to have that pecking order kind of established so that when they get in there with the cows, they're chasing cows, not fighting each other.
Absolutely. So Philip gets 1 point for that, and Brian doesn't get a chance to answer, which is a frustrating way to lose. But you guys had a lot of good information today, so thanks for sharing with us. And as always, if you have questions, you can send them in to bci@ksu.edu.